You know, one simple statistic is good enough to tell you the story. Jasprit Bumrah, 2.5 runs and over. Mohammad Siraj, 3 runs and over. Ravindra Jadeja, 2 runs and over. Pressure created, at least in the first spell of Bumrah. Mohammad Siraj reasonably better. And then Prasidh Krishna, 6 overs for 38. Absolute pack of rubbish. Shardul Thakur, 3 overs for 17. Totally eased the pressure. Prasidh Krishna, I'll tell you one little story, because when the over was up, there was a conversation. He speaks to Shubman Gill, and I've tweeted that. He gets one more fielder from the onto the offside. He tries to block the drive that Ben Duckett was playing through extra, through cover, through mid-off. He has one fielder there, short mid. He has one fielder at cover, and he's also got a straightish mid-off. So he's blocked that drive. Shubman Gill and he has a chat. They converse, they get that fielder in. 3 balls in the next over on the onside. 1 for 4, 1 short one, and then 2 others for 2 runs. That is the example of what Prasidh Krishna has bowled today. I tweeted also, and that's the question I'm going to speak to Gargi about. There is absolutely no way a captain can set fields for such poor bowling.
You can only set fields. Shubman can only ask of what, first of all, what Prasidh Krishna wants, the fielder that he wants. And then, he can sort of consult Rishabh Pant on what the batter is doing, where he's playing, and then set the fielders. But he cannot control the kind of deliveries that Prasidh Krishna is bowling. Now, when you've got 6 fielders on the offside, how in the world can you keep bowling down leg? I don't understand what is going on. And a Ben Duckett will hit those shots, will hit those random shots, and he is good on the leg side. So why are we bowling in that length? We keep talking about discipline, we keep talking about pressure, and there's no pressure from any bowler other than a Jasprit Bumrah, a Mohammad Siraj, and a Ravindra Jadeja. Every hard work that has been put in by these 3 bowlers is being undone from the other ends by Shardul Thakur and Prasidh Krishna.
Again, 9 overs, 2 maidens, 21 Bumrah. Yes, there was one wayward delivery at the very end, which went for byes 4. Rishabh Pant had no way to get that because of the swing. He was getting the ball to move, and the ball just went with the angle and went through for 4. Mohammad Siraj, 8 overs for 23. Ravindra Jadeja, 4 overs for 9, and here comes the story. 6 overs for 38 of Prasidh Krishna. These conditions, 3 overs for 17, Shardul Thakur. And by the way, if you actually go and check the Prasidh Krishna spell, out of the 6 overs, you will see at least 12 good balls. And that is the problem. It is not as if he can't produce those good balls. He's bowled those good balls. He has been looking like, okay, with those good balls, he can get the edge. He can get a wicket. When he's bowled full, he's beaten Ben Duckett, he's beaten Zach Crawley, and then he bowls complete nonsense. And that is the story of Prasidh Krishna. Every over, 3 decent balls and 2 loose balls for boundaries. That's when everything is eased out. And, time and again, and here the question is also for Morne Morkel. It is not as if this is happening for the first time. It happened in Australia. Exactly the same with Prasidh Krishna. It is happening here. Morne Morkel as bowling coach. It is not as if Prasidh Krishna has not been in this country for a long time. Prasidh Krishna has been here for at least about 3 weeks now. Morne Morkel has worked with him in Australia. He has worked with him here. Questions pertinently should be raised about the bowling coach as well. We will debate and discuss. But almost done. Shardul Thakur replaced by Nitish Reddy in the next test.
100%. Look, if Shardul Thakur was a Prasidh Krishna, I would still say that maybe, he's a young one. He doesn't have as much experience. We might just see him get one more chance. But I don't think that's happening with Shardul Thakur. Shardul Thakur is experienced enough to come into these bowling conditions and take advantage of it. He has the skill set. He has that swing in his bowling, yet none of it has been used to the best of its abilities. Let's not even talk about the fact that he's not scored anything with the bat. So when you really look at it, Shardul Thakur made no case for himself. There's absolutely nothing for the selectors or the captain or the management to stand on and say, we will play Shardul Thakur for another game. I don't think that's happening anymore. You've got plenty of talent sitting on, warming the benches. And I think it's time for them to come forward.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a wicket taker, because clearly you are struggling with taking wickets, there is an Arshdeep Singh who will swing the ball late. There has to be movement. Shardul
Left
Thakur,
arm.
Nitish Kumar Reddy is a much better bat. If Shardul
100%.
Thakur is bowling like this in the first innings, he bowled 6 overs out of 100. So clearly the captain doesn't have that kind of faith.
Yes.
In this innings, he was given the ball today at least ahead of Ravindra Jadeja. 3 overs, pretty poor. Once again,
Very
on the
poor.
pads of Ben Duckett. He's got the field set on the offside. And that's the problem with Prasidh and Shardul. You see, you can, okay, I understand you're not being able to pick wickets. Why can't you bowl one line? Make England get those runs rather than leaking runs. And India with Prasidh Krishna and Shardul Thakur, time and again, in the 9 overs, you have conceded 55 runs at more than 6 an over in these overcast conditions. No one's expecting you to produce a peach like a Bumrah or even a Mohammad Siraj. But if you can't even control the line and length that you are bowling and you're conceding easy runs, Prasidh Krishna, the body language of Prasidh Krishna is negative. Each time you see, shoulders dropping, there is no excitement. You see a Jasprit Bumrah, the way he walks back to his bowling mark, you can sense that there is a real effort going on. There's a serious
There's a
push
bounce in
coming.
his step.
Yeah, I mean, with a Jasprit, even Mohammad Siraj.
Yeah,
Mohammad Siraj
100%.
today, the way he ran back in the last over, he wanted one more over of Jasprit Bumrah. He was pushing Ben Duckett and Zach Crawley. There is effort. But when it comes to Prasidh Krishna, you've taken
Shoulders
that
are just
field.
down. I mean, look, I have been observing him very closely, and the way that he walks back to his position, I
negative.
think that is negative, and it's showing at this point that Prasidh Krishna does not have any self-belief at this point. It looks like it, at least. The way that he walks back, his head is down, his shoulders are down. There's no spring in his step. He's not hurrying, he's not rushing. I'm not sure what is going on in Prasidh Krishna's head right now, but someone needs to talk to him. And it seems like it's spitting a little bit.
It is,
Just a tiny bit.
It is, but we've been talking about this, that the prediction was for Shahs.
It
It
doesn't
hasn't
look
happened.
like it.
This is now England's game. Yes, it is still overcast, very overcast, very cloudy. Gargi said it's spitting also, and it's not easy conditions. But and some of the balls have swung, some of the balls have moved. It's not as if the ball isn't doing. Bumrah, for example, got the ball to move. Even Prasidh Krishna got the ball to move. Mohammad Siraj, one ball which pitched there and came in and almost beat Zach Crawley by half. So it's not as if the ball isn't doing anything. The ball is. Ravindra Jadeja got the ball also to sort of turn a little bit. India has lacked discipline, and that is what is hurting India at lunch and break. 107 England, they will now know this is their game to lose. They will know that if they continue to press on, this Indian side, for whatever reason, shoulders will drop. Because Shubman Gill, there was that moment when, I think when Prasidh was bowling, Shubman at one point in time was a tad frustrated, and he had his hands wide as if to ask, what are you wanting? When he moved the fielder and bowled a short one which went for a boundary. It is bound to happen to a captain.
Of course, it's bound to. And look, this is his first game as the Test captain.
And
There
he's
is
got 100.
pressure.
He wants it badly. You can't bowl like this.
Look, when you think of the batters, so much effort has been put into it. Yashasvi Jaiswal, KL Rahul in both innings, Shubman Gill in that first innings, Rishabh Pant back-to-back century, achieving something no Indian wicketkeeper has ever done before. All of this, you have to understand just how much
This is very
effort.
deflating for the batting unit.
Very deflating for the batting unit, and it happens time and again with the Indian team that the batters come in, they put the runs on the scoreboard, but then when it's time to bowl, it's only Jasprit Bumrah who's putting in any real effort. Now you saw Mohammad Siraj actually bowling really well, and to his credit, he is bowling much better than the first 2 innings. And I think when you look at a partnership of Siraj and Bumrah, there's actually pressure there. But the second it's off, it's gone. Everything's gone. The pressure's gone. Runs keep pouring out. It's leaking runs. It's leaking runs out there.
Do you see now that India has got the lunch break?
Yes.
Do you see recalibration? Do you see anything different happening post lunch? Because it's still very overcast, very, very gloomy, extremely.
Ball will swing.
there will be movement for sure.
yeah.
There is there is some wind also, pretty strong wind now.
Ball
Do you
has been
see
changed.
ball changed, which has oftentimes worked for teams
Yes.
when the ball has been changed. And
Yeah.
Ravindra Jadeja was pretty ecstatic when the
Very.
ball change
He was
happened.
going in-
So he was actually doing that to the umpire. Do you see anything different post lunch that Mone Mokal, for example, can tell the bowlers? Do you see anything different?
I hope to see something different. Because at this point, if Prasidh Krishna does not find that length, he's going to leak a lot of runs. They all in England already have 100 plus runs on the scoreboard. They're only 200 something short of winning this game. I think there needs to be some serious recalibration here. There needs to be some serious talk from Mone Mokal, from Gautam Gambhir, whatever it takes. Tell those two boys, Shardul Thakur and Prasidh Krishna, to bowl well. And you don't even need much, honestly. You saw that Siraj is not trying anything different. Siraj is just bowling between the stumps. That's all he's doing, and he's trying to get it into the batter. That's all he's trying. He's not trying anything fancy, but that's what you need. You need discipline. You need to make sure that you're hitting those areas over and over again. That's how you frustrate the batters and get the wickets to roll. But Prasidh Krishna, unfortunately, is not doing that. He's getting every sort of help from the captain, Shubman Gill, whatever he's asking, the field placement, 6 fielders on the offside. He's getting all of that, but then he goes ahead and bowls in the leg area. What do you even say at that point?
Yeah, and that's where the pressure is being eased off. Whether you're Jasprit Bumrah, whether you're Mohammad Siraj and Ravindra Jadeja, that's where the problem is happening. And time and again, it has time and again happened. Let's check the prediction. Is there any rain predicted at this point?
I have a feeling after this point
there is some rain at 2 o'clock according to the prediction, but
Okay.
so far we haven't seen any rain whatsoever.
There was 90% rain prediction at 12 and
Which hasn't happened.
So
So weather-wise,
how
it
much
has
it
stayed dry. Weather-wise, it has stayed dry. We can show you. You can show people the clouds a little
Absolutely.
bit. These are really dark. You can still see. Look at this. Look at the clouds. These are really dark clouds that you can see over and above the Headingley cricket ground, and it's everywhere. There is hardly, and the lights are on. Show people the lights
are
also.
on.
You can show from here.
Yes,
You can
there
show
you go.
from here. The lights are all on. Even during the lunch break, the lights are all on. So these aren't easy conditions to bat. Under no circumstance, the lights are on. Red ball cricket, pretty dark. Look at those clouds. This is the Kirkstall Lane end from where Jasprit Bumrah operates. That's the light tower. These are difficult conditions to bat, but India with Prasidh Krishna and Shardul Thakur have released the pressure time and again. And that is kind of haunting India now. England very much on course with the run rate. They scored 96 in that session of 24 overs. Exactly what they needed. They've got another 65, 66 overs coming, and they will need 255. So clearly they are on course, England. India needs some inspiration from somewhere. There will be a Jasprit Bumrah burst post-lunch. There will be a Mohammad Siraj burst post-lunch. And maybe, just maybe, those 10 overs or 8 overs, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj, until and unless India open this game up. If India open this game up with about a couple of wickets in the first 8-10 overs after lunch, new batter will find it difficult to bat in these conditions against a Bumrah. So you've got to open it up in the first 8-10 overs. If that doesn't happen, Gargi, this is getting difficult, and England will fancy a win.
England will fancy a win. Look, let's be realistic about what will happen from here on. The openers are still out there. There are no wickets falling at this moment. Yes, there have been chances, but India did not really get close to a wicket. Also,
First hour was probing. I mean, you had multiple beat the bat
ultimately-
and edges and here and there, and all that
100%.
happened.
That's what I'm saying. There have been chances, but ultimately you were not able to find that breakthrough. Now, the England team will take a lot of confidence from this session. And you also have to think about the fact that they bat till 9. So even if they go out there, swing the bat a little bit, do their baseball-esque batting, they will still have a lot of wickets in hand. And that is what is the worrying part about it. A lot of people in the comment section saying, Barish kara do, let there be rain. But that would not help India. You don't want interruption.
If one session gets washed out, only then. I don't see that. I don't. Now,
Honestly, don't see any rain.
I don't
There's
see
a
one
bee on
session. Have you?
you. Turn around. Yeah, it's gone.
Okay, I don't see a session getting washed out here. I absolutely don't, because from the morning, the prediction was for proper showers. Yesterday on our show, she pointed out that prediction was for 80%, 90% chance of rain. There has been absolutely no
Nothing of
rain.
that sort
अभी
happened.
तक तो यार हुआ नहीं है. अभी तक नहीं हुआ है, and लग भी नहीं रहा है, because it's now, it's kind of static cloud. With the wind, clouds are moving around. It is pretty dark, but वही ऐसे ही है. सुबह से ऐसे ही है. There has been occasions when it started to spit. There have been occasions when there's a very light drizzle, but nothing to stop play. And it's quite strange, because almost every weather forecast for Leeds was saying that there is chance of precipitation, chance of rain, chance of rain. I don't see rain interrupting this game too much.
I don't see it anymore. It honestly now the weather looks like what it was yesterday, and it did not rain yesterday at all. A lot of people in the comment section saying go for a draw now.
But how do you go for a draw? England will target your bowlers. The fact is, Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj will come. By the way, it's 254 is still a hell lot of runs. People have given that kind of target, and only 6 times have 250 plus been chased. So when you are talking about that, we are now talking because we didn't get a wicket in that session. But the fact of the matter is, 254 is still a lot of runs. So Bumrah and Siraj in the post-lunch session have to come and go for wickets. You cannot say a draw. You cannot say I will bowl negative lines right after lunch and try and contain England. England will not let you get away with that. They will absolutely hammer you to submission if you try anything else. But if you ask me, with Prasidh Krishna, this is the conversation that should happen. Morne Morkel, try the short stuff. Go and try the short stuff. Put fielders out there. Get him, because this is a 5th day wicket. If the ball keeps low, if the bounce doesn't really work, and there can be a couple of body blows, try Prasidh Krishna with the short stuff, because if things aren't working. But I don't see a draw happening. If there is no rain, it's a result. At this point in time, it's England ahead. But in cricket, Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Siraj, after lunch, those 8 to 10 overs, absolutely critical for India to pick a couple. Tough for a new batter. I'm saying it time and again. Tough for a new batter to come and immediately sort of try to get going in these conditions.
Crawley
so won't
and
be easy.
Duckett have done a good job,
Very.
But they're settled now. If one wicket falls, I think it would be very difficult for the new one to come in and sort of settle in.
Somebody asks a super chat.
Oh, okay, somebody asked the super chat. Very defensive captaincy by Gill, not deserving. What does the captain do
when your
bowlers are not delivering? What can he do? He cannot go and bowl on his own. That's not what he can do. In fact, if you look at it, look at the field set for Prasidh Krishna. Jasprit Bumrah, leave him aside. He's doing his job well. But Siraj, Jadeja, and even Prasidh Krishna, the fielding that is being set is actually very attacking fielding. But the fact is, it's just not the right line and length.
No, I mean, the captain gave Prasidh what he wanted, and that's what I described to you. Ben Duckett was driving him through mid-off. There was a short mid-off. There was a very straightish mid-off come, halfway. And then there was a cover which was brought in. So the drive was blocked. And Prasidh is then expected to bowl that channel outside off and get that edge. There was a slip, there was a gully. So all he needs to do is bowl that line. He has to get that line. What he does in that over, after consulting Gill, getting that extra fielder moved from mid-wicket to the offside, he bowls 3 balls on the onside. 1 shot, which Ben Duckett pulled for 4. 2, which went for 2 runs each. And so 12 or 10 runs conceded in that over by Prasidh Krishna after moving the fielder from this to this side. And that's where, what does Shubman Gill do? He actually had his hands sprayed out. That is not the line. That is not the line. Shardul Thakur. He's coming there. He's got a field again set. He's bowling at Ben Duckett's pads and whipping away for easy runs. That is where your number 4 and number 5. Your number 4 and number 5 bowlers, the 2 fast bowlers, 2 pace bowlers who are expected to back your Bumrah and a Siraj. Because think about it, Bumrah beat the bat multiple times. He literally, that Jaffa 2-2 at the start of the day, Multiple times it happened. Remember that ball which
Yes,
pitched and just
yes.
cut? Ben Duckett was squared up, completely squared up. Rishabh Pant dived and literally
There was
stopped
one
it.
that went between the pad and the bat. So when you look at it, okay, Moose, Sajal Saha.
Sinha, I think, right?
Oh, sorry, my God. What are you saying, Gargi? Field setup is so defensive. Only one slip. Gully open field. Gully open field. Why not attacking field setup? Pathetic. Because you don't have the bowling for it.
No, see,
How do I
when Jasprit Bumrah is bowling, he's got multiple catchers there.
Yes.
When Mohammad Siraj is bowling, he's got two catchers there and a gully. And he was trying, and by the way, the short mid, both sides, they are not defensive positions, they are catching positions. Because if you've seen, the Jasprit Bumrah cotton bowled was because the ball held up that tad bit. So Zach Crawley was beaten on the drive because this is partly two-paced. That's why that fielder on the off and the on. So on the drive, if the ball played uppish, this is a fifth-day wicket, which is slightly two-paced. That's why those fielders are not defensive fielders. They are catching fielders. They are strategically placed for a catch. But when you are bowling like the way Prasidh and Shardul have bowled, when you've conceded 6 runs plus in a match situation where your ball was still relatively new, extremely difficult for Shubman Gill or for anybody for that matter to do justice. That has been the problem of India. If India somehow has to get back, they have to have a tight session, a seriously disciplined tight session. The conversation at lunch has to be, let England earn those runs. We will not give those runs. Even if it's a 7-2 offside field, make it difficult. Don't let Zach Crawley and Ben Duckett get easy runs and get into flow. That's where India needs to do the job. If you can't get wickets, make it difficult, be disciplined, bowl on one channel, one side of the wicket and make it hard. That's not happening, Gargi.
That is definitely not happening. We keep talking about discipline. Where is the discipline when Prasidh Krishna is bowling? Where is the discipline when Shardul Thakur
But that's
is
where
bowling?
Mone Mokal needs to be questioned.
What? Tell me,
I
it's been 5 days of Test cricket. You know that this is the issue with these two bowlers. Why has there been no improvement in the two of them? Siraj has improved quite a bit from the past 2 times that he's bowled.
See, that, and this is a problem with Mone Mokal and this bowling unit from Australia.
Yeah.
It's not as if this has started here. If you check Sydney, that was a wicket which was good enough for India to at least make a match of it, that last test match, 166. Again, no Jasprit Bumrah, I understand, but Mohammad Siraj and Prasidh Krishna leaked runs and Australia just cantered to a victory. Same problem, bowling on both sides of the wicket, allowing that.
And Prasidh Krishna was actually bowling similarly to what he's doing now. It was the same thing in Australia as well. He would bowl 3 incredible deliveries and then just let it loose. He was doing the same thing back in Australia as well. And we're seeing that there's no improvement. I think there's a bit of a mental temperament issue as well, because when we see him in the nets, he looks good. What are you looking at?
I think it started
It's
to
spitting.
drizzle. Yeah.
It's not a proper drizzle. Something like we had in the morning as well. We had this in the morning.
It's very dark and very gloomy and it started to spit. Yeah, it started to spit again. Will there be a rain delay? We still don't know. The covers can come on because if it starts to drizzle, there might be. At this point in time, is it drizzling?
It is drizzling
Hold on.
actually.
It is drizzling.
It is. You can feel it here, even under the shade, because the direction of the drizzle is.
Yeah, so it has started to drizzle, but I don't think they will go off in this drizzle. It
Yeah.
is starting to drizzle a little bit here at
Go
Leeds.
off
As in they will not resume.
Yeah,
I
I think
think
so.
they will resume in this drizzle unless this drizzle gets slightly. Unless the drizzle gets slightly heavier, I can sense it is raining. It is, yeah, could be
It's
now.
gone now.
It's gone?
No, it's there. It's there.
Actually, it's getting
This is a
slightly
proper
heavier.
drizzle.
Yeah, this is now getting, the clouds are lower. This drizzle is getting slightly heavier. Let's, if this drizzle gets slightly heavier like it is at the moment, we don't know if they will resume. But seems that with this kind of thing, they might just, and if they do, the
They
8
might.
overs or the 10 overs of Jasprit Bumrah and Mohammad Siraj are absolutely essential.
Okay. More? Bumrah is injured 200%. Still, Gill is. He would not play.
I mean, look, what do you mean
If
Bumrah
he-
is injured? The fellow is bowling at 143. The last over that he bowled, one was 139, one was 143. The ball that he bowled to Rishabh, which could not be taken by Rishabh, went for 4. That was a genuinely quick ball which moved. What do you mean injured? What do you mean injured? If Bumrah was injured, he knows his body better, and the Indian team knows that they
How-
will not risk Jasprit Bumrah for one innings here and put him out for the rest of the series or jeopardize his career. That's not happening. There is no question of Bumrah being injured. He's already bowled 4 overs in the first spell, 2 already. He will come and bowl. Yeah, it's a heavy
starting
drizzle.
to,
now.
this is a heavy drizzle. We should move this camera first
Yeah.
of all. But yeah, I don't see the game starting with this sort of drizzle.
They're starting to cover
I
their
will show you
caps
guys.
and everything. It is starting to drizzle
You
heavily.
can't see the drizzle at this point, but as you can tell, the plastics are coming on, and people
These
are
are
now
incredible
rushing.
comments. 5-0 loading, sack Mockle, play 10 batsmen and 1 Bumrah.
That's a funny one. You know, there was a comment in the morning show. It said, "Good news is we have Bumrah. The bad news is we only have Bumrah." You completely.
What is your super chat? Take my super chat, Muriyada. It is for you. Which one? I can't see.
We
You don't
took
need
all
to
of-
give super
Achha,
chats.
okay, got it,
I'll
got it.
anyway take it. I don't give a
Sajal.
shit for super chats. Don't worry about all of
Sajal is
that.
asking one logical question: why is Bumrah fielding at boundary? He must have to field in 30-yard circle for.
No. He was there. By the way, when you ask that, for Shardul Thakur, he was actually at mid-on. For Shardul Thakur, Jasprit Bumrah was at mid-on and was continuously trying to talk to Shardul Thakur when he was going back to his bowling
We
mark.
should move.
Okay? So it's
phone's
not
getting
as if
wet.
he was continuously fielding at the boundary line. So he was at mid-on for Shardul Thakur. So Jasprit Bumrah was very much there. What is it? What was your super chat, my friend?
I asked you the same one.
Same one, okay.
Yeah.
It has been
field-
asked.
the field one.
But you don't need to. If you ask a pertinent question, we'll take that.
Are Trisha and Rohan inside, because we can get visuals
I
of
think it
whether or
stopped
not.
again.
No, it's on.
Nah,
No, you're under the shade. Go over here. We will try to get visuals of what is going on
it's
inside
spitting
the
now. It's no
stadium.
longer that drizzle.
The drizzle's gone.
The drizzle's gone. I think it's spitting still.
Yeah, I can't see the drizzle anymore.
6-minute guy, it's a 6-minute match, then 45 minutes later it will be rain.
ये किसने
Proper
बोला
rain.
तुम्हें?
ये कहाँ से आया information?
देखा मैंने कहाँ देखा?
iPhone बता
आईफोन कैसे बताएगा?
courtesy Tim Cook.
Okay, so Rohit Juglan's weather prediction, not ours, is 45 minutes later there is rain. If there is one session of rain, then different matter. But at this point, here's something again. Logical, why is
That-
Bumrah
that-
fielding at the
that's
boundary?
the
We
one.
took that. I told you also. Because I was actually very conscious. He went out for 10 minutes. Mohammad Siraj went out for 10 minutes. They came back. He was fielding, and that's why he fields. He fields at fine, he fields at third. And then he came up to Shardul Thakur because Shubman Gill gesticulated, and he was there at mid-on for Shardul Thakur. Each time Shardul was walking back, Jasprit was trying to speak to him. So it's not as if he wasn't there. You know, if there is a rain break, as Rohit Juglan
gone.
predicts, at this point,
Gone.
it's not happening much. But apparently, there is a chance of a rain break again. We will see. Too many flights going above. नहीं हो रहा है. I
नहीं हो
don't
रहा
think
है,
it's
चला
raining.
गया. कुछ भी नहीं है.
I don't think it's raining much. There's still some spitting going on. There's
This
still
has
some.
been constantly happening since the morning.
But there was one that little 2 minutes of drizzle.
Yeah, it happened in our show as well, in the morning show.
ऐसे drizzle था.
Once for a 30, 40 seconds it happened and then it went away.
But we will have to see what happens. We will close this show now. Gill defensive captaincy.
Your opinion, not your
there is no option for Gill when Shardul Thakur and Prasidh Krishna sprays it around. when Bumrah and Siraj are bowling, he's not defensive. He's got catchers. Even those two I explained to you, the short mid-on and the short mid-off. They are catching positions for the uppish drive. Even that short cover, it is there for the uppish drive on a wicket which is two-paced. We will come back. 5 minutes for the game to resume. We will come back if there's a rain delay. Fingers crossed. 8 overs to 10 overs after lunch. Jasprit Bumrah, one more burst. Mohammad Siraj, one more burst. If India doesn't pick a wicket there, then it becomes mighty difficult from here on. India will have to be, and I keep saying this, whether it's Shardul, Prasidh, Ravindra Jadeja, Bumrah, Siraj, India needs discipline. Real discipline to be able to contain this. They'll have to bowl one side of the wicket, one channel, keep discipline, play fielders there, put fielders there, make it a 6-3 or a 7-2 field, make England earn those runs. That's where the mistake will be induced, because these guys, they will try that cheeky, Ben Duckett will go and play that
The
Rishabh
reverse
Pant kind of
sweeps
hoik.
and-
The reverse will come in,
Yeah.
and wickets will come. But India cannot concede easy runs like was done by Prasidh and Shardul. Close the show with last words. Still saying India can come back?
It's very difficult to say that now. I think we were very positive in the morning, but
All of us
that
were.
session 1 was very, very crucial, and you did not pick up any wickets in that session. Now, all you can, sort of depend on right now is a collapse. Either a collapse, 2-3 wickets falling in the next session, or England takes it away. There's no here or there. There's no grey areas. It's either a win or a loss. That's how it is.
Yeah, and if there is a rain break, we will come and inform you
course.
straight up. Keep watching. We will be back at tea, normal circumstances, hopefully with some better news. The morning session was dampening for India, but test match cricket, the ebbs and flows, never give up. It's a test. Can India come back with some solid intensity?